All right. It's good to see you guys. I thought we had good work today. The heat was out for sure, and I thought the on both sides of the ball, I thought the execution was good on both sides. I think the energy kind of lagged at times. I think energy-wise was probably not our best day, but I thought they were able to persevere. And there's highlights in the throwing game. I thought that both Blake and KD put some balls on point, and we were able to make some contested catches. I think the protection is still improving. I think the run game, in terms of one cut and get downhill and fall forward and all that, I think has got a ways to go. I think the blocking on the perimeter with our receivers still has a ways to go. I think defensively, I think the ability to kind of manage the collection of calls that we have and get in and out of things on shifts and motions and communicate and be all on the same page is way impressive. I thought that they were able to hustle around and make plays. I thought they were able to make some timely plays, and so there's a lot of good there. I think for them to kind of go through hard situations and kind of have the maturity to not have self-inflicted wounds is still a big area for growth and is a concern, kind of going into the season. So with that, take any questions you guys got.
Dave, as far as Blake's progress, are you liking what you're seeing?
Yeah, Blake has, the math that we kind of keep up with the throw game has been impressive. And so completion percentage and, ball getting out of his hands and just all the metrics are good. But then, there's times on the field to where it's like, wow, he got out of that and made that throw and got it where he needed to get it and the velocity of it and all that. So there's some of those moments that are cool to see. But the thing I'm most proud of is just his leadership, and there's a timing and kind of an art of when to say something, how to say it, and to be authentic with everything that you got. And I think he's learning that, and so I'm proud of him for it.
Coach, what was with them going full speed today, how much does it help having the film of like a full speed scrimmage to be able to break down and take another look at how they're doing the drills each day moving forward?
Yeah, I appreciate that. We had a lot of plays today. This was about 125 plays, I think, and you could feel the difference when there was, when there's no cloud cover, and then when the clouds would roll in and all that. And I told them at the end, we don't control the clouds. We have to control, kind of our own actions and attitudes and all of it. And so I think all of it's good. We've talked about it before, like to get where you're going, you got to start where you are. And I think, this is a good reminder of kind of where everything's at. And I think, for us to get to the level of, it's a tight game, it's on the road, we're in a storm, right? Can't see, north from south. Right, and you can't hear, from left from right. In order to get where you need to be and do what you have to do, I think all of that, we have a ways to go with that.
Dave, you got snacks at cornerback now, is that right? And walking via hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to do that?
I think Al, his strengths or some of his strengths are going to be his instincts. He is a ball hawk, and he's always around it, and good fortune generally follows. But then I think there's a great amount of physicality with him, and last year as a corner he was one of our better blitzers, and we bring the corner quite a bit. And so his transformation into that star position was an easy one. And then Aranda just has such great speed and athleticism. He was bringing physicality for sure at the start, but there was just a need for some skill and some speed on the perimeter, and he's really done well there.
And how's Al doing? He's got a wrist injury?
Yeah, so we're expecting Al to be back next week.
Dave, you mentioned some of the struggles running the ball today. Has there been anyone in that running back room that's kind of emerged as a front runner, and what are you hoping to see out of them?
Not yet. I think there's been a good rotation, and I think there's been I think winning at every level is a thing, and I think winning in the meeting room is a thing. You're getting all this information, you're collecting all these dots, and then can you put it into your own language? Can you teach it? That would be connecting the dots. And so there's winning at that level. There's winning in a walkthrough, paying attention, and if you're not taking the rep, your eyes are on the guy that's taking it, and you're taking a mental rep. Winning in a Tuesday practice is a thing. That second team period when it's been whatever the heat has been, and finishing strong is a thing. Then a Saturday scrimmage is yet another. And I think some of those previous stages we've been able to win. We did not today in this setup, and so we got another shot at it. And I think we've had to kind of stay. The thing is, you're on the path, you're off the path, get back on it. It's as simple and as hard as that.
With the running backs, do you have a preference, running back by committee, or more like one or two featured backs?
Whatever gives us the best opportunity to win. And I think there's talent there for sure. I think there has to just be a consistency and an aggressiveness that has to kind of come together.
With the wide receivers, how do you balance keeping an open competition versus having Blake Shapen build rapport?
Yeah, that's a good question. And so I think just the more you can throw it, the more you can work those combinations. And so we have purposely tried to have more team passes, right? More reps with our Skelly, kind of move it around different spots so that he can work with those different groups and see if there's a matchup or a pairing that's better than others.
Dave, who's doing well at safety right now?
There's a fair amount of talent there. Devin Lemire, Devin Bobby made some good plays today. Mike Harris has really shown up. I think we're still trying to get Mike on the straight and narrow off of football, but there's some positive things. I think the ability to fully find a home in base and in the sub packages, and since there's such a wide variety of guys and skill level and talent, I think we're still looking for roles, and so the hope is by the end of next scrimmage we have that.
Dave, how valuable is it to have a guy like Dylan that's been through it a couple of years, kind of knows that defense and can now teach it to other guys?
And he does that. I think Dylan makes time to make his own cuts. He studies it. We talked about, you get all this information, you're collecting dots and putting it together, and being able to teach it is the connection of the dots, and he does that. And so what a valuable lesson for some of our younger guys. And so he's being a mentor to them, and I think he's well on his way to having a really good season. I think his ability on defense to, if there's a shift and a change of strength and then a motion and all of it, he can spit all that out and do it with a calm about him to where guys can get in and out of a couple defenses and not be a thing.
Dave, I saw that Taekwon caught a touchdown pass the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen's going to play tonight. Have you been able to keep up with any of these guys in preseason, or just no time for it?
No, I have, yeah. Anytime that our guys are doing well, I reach out to them. The start of camp, reached out to them, just way proud of them. I think for some of them, they dreamed about it, but I don't know if they really thought it was a realistic thing. I don't know, I think if you asked them, they'd probably say yes, but I think that it was that pro day and everything, I could see their faces and that this is real, dude, and this is what happens, man, when you do your deal, right, and you find out who you are and you live it out. And so it's just so cool, and to see Ty block and catch and do all of it, and then to hear everything. I've a few friends on that staff over there in Houston, so to hear everything about PD, just way excited for him.
Talking about current people catching the ball here at Baylor, how do you feel like the receivers are doing heading into fall, and have they really established that relationship, you think, with Blake so far?
They have. I appreciate the question. I think in terms of, making contested catches, I think in terms of route running, I think in terms of I think in terms of getting off a press, in terms of high pointing the ball, in terms of the competitiveness that relates to catching, I think they've been doing an outstanding job. They're playing hard, and I think they're really playing for Dallas, Baker. I think, or offensively, there is a fair amount of formation variety and a fair amount of shifts and motions, and they are working their way through that. And I think, some of it is when that is a struggle to not let that affect, the catching and the running and all the other stuff. And so, you're at that part in camp to where, the water gets a little bit muddy, but I think, how we come out of it is really the whole thing. So we can, get spit out the other side and be a whole new player, a whole new team. So I'm excited for that.
With as much experience and talent as you have on the offensive and defensive fronts, how fun is it to watch them go against each other, and how much does it help them to have live reps against people of that level on the other side?
Yeah, the O-line and D-line particularly, I think the talent there is real, and there's a great scouting report on the other side, and so you take any O-lineman and they can give you the rundown on their counterpart on the other side in terms of their base move, their counter move, right? When it's a play action pass, what they like to do. When it's a naked, what they like to do, a bootleg or something. So all of that, they know it. And so you're playing best on best, and you're playing fastball pitcher versus fastball pitcher. And so you can't help but get better when it's that way. And so you were getting some of that in the secondary as well, right? With young guys, with freshmen, redshirt freshmen, or sophomores on the outside. And so it's good to see.